Boy, it is amazing what the Internet and cable television and just the changing scope of media and what's going on. You know, when I think back on NBC local news, Chuck Scarborough, Sue Simmons, I'm talking about New York now for the rest of the country. Chuck Scarborough's our local news guy, Sue Simmons, Len Berman on sports, and then you have a couple of field reporters who are all really, like, well-known figures in New York. They were the identity of NBC. So they just fired Len Berman.
That's what I heard, that Len wasn't long for the job.
61-year-old dude, been doing sports in New York forever. Real good at it. I mean, I don't follow sports.
One of the best.
But, you know, I understand it in a way. There's so many news outlets now that local news used to be the moneymaker of moneymakers for local television stations. So much so that I had heard that Chuck Scarborough at one point was going to be tapped to be the national anchorman. He was going to be like Dan Rather. Mm-hmm. And they said, no way, we make too much money with this guy, just being the local guy. They kept him
in that job.
Yeah, because you could make more money as a local station with tons and tons of advertisers. And the local stations get to keep all that money.
Right. Oh, with sports, ESPN and ESPN2, man, it made them obsolete. I remember a guy... Channel 11 had a guy when I was growing up, I'm sure Gary and you guys remember him, a guy named Jerry Gerard, who was so funny doing the news, and you had to wait to see him to get results. And now you get him every 2 seconds.
Here's the thing.
On your fucking cell phone.
Here's the thing. Len Berman, you know, was the guy. And now he evidently was making $1 million a year.
Yeah, it's all cost-cutting. It's not that Len is no good anymore.
Well, it's cost-cutting because, A, the local news doesn't get the rate. Channel 4 used to be the perennial, the huge winning channel in local news. Everybody watched them. Now no one watches local news. Right. Channel 4 is like at the bottom of the heap.
Live at 5 was it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it's just all... I can't even tell you when the last time was I watched local news.
Right.
I don't even watch it.
Well, somebody told me yesterday there was a good thing about, throwing out the first pitch at the Met game. So somebody goes, oh, you got to go see on ESPN. They have all the first pitches. They just did like a little thing about it. But so I turn over to ESPN. I'm waiting for it to come on. But every half hour or every hour, I'm getting the sports and constantly updated.
Well, look how fast things are changing. Media guys don't even know what to do. Newspapers started going out of business because television's so good at covering live events.
And there's these 24-hour news channels.
Right. So then television starts getting all the advertising. Now television is fragmented between the Internet and now all the cable channels.
You watch that show, you watched the show CBS Sunday Morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
They did a piece on Sunday Morning that, within the next year or two, you're going to see some major newspapers
That's already happening.
Go out of business. Like major newspapers.
They're talking major newspapers are already closing, yeah.
Nobody's picking up a paper.
I know.
Well, the New York Times is hurting. I mean, if that's hurting, shit.
And magazines, too. There's magazines that are going to start going out of business like crazy.
If the New York Times folds, it's the end of all newspapers, because that is the greatest newspaper on the planet. That is an unbelievable achievement.
Because there will be no place to get your news
I call
in
the
an
New
accurate way.
I call the New York Times the eighth wonder of the world. And I'll tell you why. It's not even for, like, the big news stories. They cover stuff that you would never even think to cover.
Their science section, their style section. It's an amazing paper.
They're into everything. They're into everything. So if that folds, it's the end of the newspaper.
But it's funny. I get the New York Times delivered to my house, but I also get it online.
Yeah.
And I probably look at it more online than I do the actual paper.
Really? See, I like holding a paper.
But I'll tell you one thing.
I'm in front of my computer more, and when I get home, I don't have time to sit down and read the paper.
Yeah.
But you're not going to have the great reporters anymore because they're not going to be making any more money. If there's no revenue coming in from the revenue stream from the publication and from the internet, you're going to get people right out of like college who don't know their ass from their elbow writing stories from the New York Times.
Well, that's why Len Berman's not going to be around anymore.
Right, they're getting rid of senior people who command high salaries.
You're going to get some 23-year-old guy from Biloxi who works for $18,000 a year. I'm exaggerating.
Len Berman was saying he can't sit home and do nothing, so he's going to resurface somewhere. But where's he going to resurface?
The internet.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do?
Probably, yeah.
Or cable.
Yeah, maybe he'll do like an MSNBC type thing.
Yeah, he could go to one of the, ESPNs or something like that.
Could end up here on Mad Dog's channel. They're looking for programming for the whole day.
He's great on the air too. Well, you're into the computer more than the average guy though, Gary. I still love reading the paper.
But you're not into it more than the average guy. And I got to say,
right? Okay, good point.
Wouldn't it be weird if Len Berman ended up being a waiter? And like, hey, Len Berman's my waiter.
Yeah, Len. What are the specials?
Did you do the sports?
No. By the way, Hooters.
And he'll do the specials like the sports.
Len, what are the specials and did the Celtics cover?
Howard, did you see the promo for the show that's on tonight? It's that exact premise. It's Jessica Simpson, Jeff Probst, and somebody else, but they take them and they put him out in regular jobs. Who's that hot model? There's a hot model.
Oh, Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum. They put him like they put Heidi Klum at McDonald's.
Yeah, for a day. So
Yeah,
what's
no,
that
no, and
for?
then people go, "Aren't you Heidi Klum?" And then she just keeps denying it.
Well, wait, that's a whole show.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
And
What,
it's like an April Fool's event or
Right.
something.
what channel is that on?
Is that CBS or not?
I can't remember. I saw the promo last night. It might be Fox for all I know.
Yeah, I would have no interest in that because what's the point? I mean, yeah, so big deal.
Like Jeff Probst was in there, and he's going. They go, "Aren't you
He's
that guy?"
a checker. He's checking people out at the grocery store.
Yeah, and he goes. Oh, I know. Ice-T goes. What would I be doing working here if I were Ice-T?
Right.
I hope the April Fool's is that's not really the show.
That's like on the wrestler, that movie The Wrestler, when Mickey Rourke has to go work in the
I
deli.
love that scene when he's
Yeah.
in the deli and he just loses it.
And he just rips that guy's finger apart.
Whew.
Let's see. The President Obama, is going to England to meet with the Queen.
He's there.
Yeah, and I was thinking about, see, that's what's wrong with newspapers. According to the newspaper, he's on his way over. He's there already.
Right. I've already seen him giving a press conference.
Well, they were saying that you have to learn certain protocols when you meet the Queen and all of that. And I just thought it was funny. I was reading this one article in the Daily News, and it says, things didn't go well for President Bush and Bill Clinton. But President Bush, Her Royal Highness was not amused when Bush winked at her in 2007 after muffing his lines to suggest that Queen Elizabeth may have been around in 1776.
That is funny, though.
At least he knew he made a mistake.
And Clinton did poorly with her because he tried to bring a whole bunch of hangers-on with him into the palace and to hang out.
I heard that's his move.
Yeah. Well, that's what he does now, even though he's not president. He travels with a pack of guys.
Yeah.
And he gets them all. It's like almost like a networking thing. If you hang with Bill, he'll get you into every cool event.
Right.
Yeah, well, pick up the DVD for the Rolling Stones movie. That meet and greet is all Clinton's friends. It's like a 2-hour-long line.
Yeah, that's his thing. Like, that's how he sort of networks himself. And it's like, well, hey, I'll get you into...
here, I'll get you there.
I'll get you to hang with Ronnie Wood.
Keith Richards will just go, how you doing? How you doing?
Kind of crazy. And so Obama and his wife Michelle are busy trying to figure out what the hell you
What
say.
they're supposed to do with that crazy woman.
Yeah, right. This woman of privilege who basically doesn't
she
do
just,
anything.
fell out of the right...
Womb. Out of the right vagina.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and now
I
everybody's got to bow.
Right. Sorry I said the wrong thing to this broad.
Greg knows who Underdog Ladies Lex Luthor was. Underdogs Lex Luthor was. Go ahead, Greg. Hey now.
Underdog's nemesis was Simon Bar Sinister.
That's
Right.
Oh, that's right. Simon Bar Sinister?
Simon Bar
Yeah.
Sinister was the Lex Luthor.
He looked like Eric the Midget.
Yeah, he was a bad guy. Bad dog. Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
And there was all the rumors that Underdog was a speed freak because he would take that secret pill in his ring, and then all of a sudden he had energy to fight the bad guys.